every LP is a little different. Every LP has their own sort of definition and way that they, want to interact and ask us questions around it. For us with underwriting, we sort of, and I'm sure Stepstone has this as well, but like, we have a risk management tool that we use. And so we ask a lot of questions around, the risk of groupthink and the effectiveness of diversity policies and, what are sort of some of the practices and things that each of these GPs is doing. So I think kind of like understanding that at a basic level for any potential investment that we make, any company that a partner of ours has committed to. And then just sort of the LPs themselves is really important to kind of understand their philosophy on it. I think from the LP side, look, there's a lot of folks who generally want to ask, and have data in hand and want to have diversity data when they're making decisions. I don't think they use that as their sole decision-making point, obviously, but it's really important to have. So for us, we collect data on, ownership and economics and investment team and, just decision makers in general. And again, we use that as a tool to make decisions. So generally speaking, yes, clients are asking about it. And generally speaking, having that data is really powerful to make really good, sound business decisions.
Diversity of background and viewpoints is certainly beneficial to investment decision making, and in turn investment returns. And I think something like 40% or so of diverse private equity managers are producing top quartile returns, which I think is a premium to what you're seeing in the broader buyout landscape. So it is something LPs are thinking about. Maybe more on the point around how much structure is there around diversity with respect to LP programs? I think, despite the growing and quite evident focus on diversity, I would say a lot of our clients and LPs more broadly don't have, I would say, structural diversity targets. Some may be more regulated and may not be able to have dedicated pools of capital for diverse managers, but be asking those questions up front around, do you have an emerging manager program? Do you have a diverse manager program? And making sure you're spending time in the right places. And then, maybe putting some of that aside and talking about less of the data centric tracking of diversity, I think it's important for LPs to know where a GP is on their journey around diversity and not necessarily hitting hard targets. So I think an example is, how do you approach recruiting or sourcing diverse candidates? Their own internal diversity targets and efforts is something I think all GPs should be focused on. So maybe another little plug there, but I think it's important to have good answers to some of those questions because it's not always just about the data. Sometimes it's a little bit more, I would say qualitative.